My God. It's that scary moment. There's always a bit of a lag as well, you know?
Are we okay to have our mics on? Will you tell us if we need to mute?
Mic's on, but if you've got the live stream playing, obviously mute that. But yeah, I think we're live. I think we're live.
It's always the first 10 seconds of every video is like, I think we're on.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Can somebody? We have 7 people watching. Can one of those 7 people please tell us if the audio is okay? The picture is definitely okay. Hello, anybody out there?
Hello.
It'd be a shame on a composer live stream not to have any audio, I think, really.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I'm alone this evening. I don't have Rebecca with me, you know, with her laptop supporting me like she always does. So
I'll just try and check on my phone, actually.
I'm definitely hearing audio on my phone, so I think it's working.
Yeah. Are you hearing all of us? Because sometimes mine's a bit funny for some reason.
Hello.
Oh,
You guys just want to do a roll call real quick?
somebody's just confirmed in the chat that we're okay. All right, great. So hi, everyone. We're going to try and rattle through this fairly efficiently. That's not my strong point on these live streams. I tend to waffle on, but I'm determined that this is going to be a quick one. I respect everyone's time, and I'm really grateful for your time this evening, as well as the time that you've put into the into what we're going to hear. So just to very quickly introduce everybody, perhaps you can introduce yourselves instead of me just waffling on. Claire, I'll start with you. Do you want to just say hi?
Hi, yeah, I'm Claire Wickes. I'm a composer, as you may have guessed, and I work as a composer and creator for orchestral tours, and I'm also the principal flautist of the English National Opera.
Superb, thank you. Martin?
Succinct.
Martin?
yeah, hello. I'm Martin, composer, YouTuber, musician, having fun, doing everything that makes sound.
Excellent. Do you want to, while you've got the floor, do you want to very quickly talk about your little SWAT challenge?
Yes, the SWAT challenge, the score with a twist. Just go to my YouTube channel. There's a video, SWAT score with a twist. I'm having this little challenge at the moment where we just ask you to tell your story, because the pictures that you get from us won't tell a story at all. So it all depends on the music. And what's really cool, as you said before, I do love Heaviosity. This event is sponsored by Heaviosity. So the winner gets a cereal for Avant. They're the modern keys. So I think it's quite interesting to participate, to score these 30, 40 seconds.
Nice. And you've got a demo somewhere, I think, on your channel of this prize, yeah? You've got a demo of this.
Exactly, yes. I even did 2 videos by now for Avant, yeah.
Excellent. All right, thanks, Martin. Good to have you with us. Mike, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Mike. I'm a composer. I'm also an educator. I teach at both Royal College of Music and Cambridge University, teaching in their film scoring curriculum. You may have seen me. Maybe you're getting sick of my face on the YouTube. I've done a couple of master classes there. But yeah, so you can sort of follow some of those links to find out a little bit more about what I do.
Yeah, there's a couple of great free master classes on our YouTube channel that Mike's done for us, and a fantastic discount to Mike's academy as well. So yeah, worth checking those out. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming this evening. I know you're very busy. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it, actually. And Gabe, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Gabe. I'm a composer, saxophone player, French, but based in New York. And like Martin, lovers of all things music. I mean, I guess like everybody else here. And, really excited to be here with you all tonight.
Not me, I hate music, but the rest of you, yeah.
I figured that was...
You're a great guitar player. Come on, don't...
Oh, thanks, Martin. Thanks.
I have proof of that.
So, yeah, we're just going to basically, we created this clip, science fiction clip, which we called Colony, which I was quite pleased with, actually. And I put some sound design on it to kind of bring it to life a little bit. And these 4 guys very graciously agreed to have a go at creating some music for it. So without further ado, we'll rattle through those and have a little chat after each one. And then you guys, the viewers, will be able to access this clip. There's a link in the description, and have a go at rescoring it yourself. and we've put a suggestion of a little hashtag which you can use, which we will then use to find your rescores, and we'll do a live stream later on, just playing through some of those and giving a little bit of feedback and stuff. So anyway, without further ado, this will be your first chance to actually see the clip. And who shall we start with? I don't know.
You don't have the wheel of names?
No, because it would choose me every time, you know?
I don't know if you've seen it. I had a giveaway on my channel, yeah. And it was always Brian winning. And then people started like, no, that's fake. That's not.
Rigged.
I'm still waiting for my prize, you know? The guy is a fraud.
Yeah.
He's a fraudster. All right, let's start with Claire. Let's go on. Claire, do you want to say anything before we play it? Because I think that... Do you want to mention about the, time?
I mean, I'm very happy to say something before. No spoilers, of course. Yeah, I mean, I thought in this sort of 1 minute clip, because there's so much packed into 1 minute, there's basically like a full narrative within 60 seconds, that I wanted to treat it really like a short film and not like a trailer. And so I wanted there to be some continuity going the whole way through. So I used quite like a limited palette. So I just picked these two Orchestral Tools creative sound packs. So one's called Mienad, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but let's go with that, which is a Verifone, which is like these glass tubes. So that's really quite an otherworldly sound. Mm-hmm. And the other one, which is called Umbra, is a shamanic ritual ensemble. So I kind of had the really like otherworldly with the really human and tried to bring those two together. So we had those, like both of those elements. And apart from in the big climax, which we remain to see, then I basically didn't bring any other sounds in apart from those two collections.
Okay.
I kind of weirdly, maybe I'll say something more maybe afterwards because I don't want to spoil the plot.
Okay,
actually.
cool.
Is that okay?
Thanks, Claire. All right, here we go. So, yeah, here we go.
Relax, David. Just tell us what you know.
It was just a routine mapping mission. Another no-hope colonization prospect. But they'd been watching us, studying, learning. They made it clear we weren't welcome. Before we knew it, they were coming. Now they're here. We've become the colony.
Relax, David. Just tell us what you...
Okay. There we are. It's played.
I didn't get to see it really, to tell you the truth.
I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. This is why I have the cell phone.
Right.
So, sorry, were we supposed to just be watching this live as well on YouTube?
Yeah, I guess it's not. That's the only way that you're going to be able to hear each other's works.
Okay, so let's do that.
I can do it.
So you're gonna...
I'll have to play it one more time. Are you all ready to listen to it on YouTube? Yeah.
1 second, let me just get to the stream.
I knew there'd be a snag somewhere along the line, you know. It wouldn't be a live stream without it.
Supposed to just be watching this live as well on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess it's not. That's the only way that you're going to be able to hear each other's works.
Now, Brian, I think you're playing it. The video back through ours.
Play it one more time. Are you all ready to listen to it on YouTube? Yeah? Okay,
Yes.
you're ready to go. Yeah.
1 second, let me just get to the stream.
I knew
We've
there'd be a
created
snag
like an
somewhere along the line.
infinity loop here.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a live stream without it. It's because of the lag. I'll play it and hopefully you can all listen.
Relax, David.
Now, Brian, I think you're
Just
playing
tell us what you know.
The video back through ours.
It was just a routine mapping mission. Another no-hope colonization prospect. But they'd been watching us, studying, learning. They made it clear we weren't welcome. Before we knew it, They were coming. It was just a routine. Well, now they're here. We've become the colony. We've become the colony.
Very cool.
This is kind of awkward because of the lag, but anyway.
All right. Did everyone hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Martin,
Not really, to be honest. I'm so sorry.
did you?
No worries.
Martin, you were not able to get the feed, yeah, off of YouTube. It's really difficult to get this right, actually.
Well, I have to admit as well, because there was still some of the audio that was playing back, which I think was coming through yours.
Yeah, that was strange. I don't know.
Right.
So I think
does
maybe
everyone
for the
hear it?
next one, if you're going to share it through YouTube, you could also then just share your screen to us on Zoom and play back like the video locally to us. That should hopefully work without streaming both at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we can try that. Yeah, okay. Let's be ambitious. So basically, Gabe and Mike, you were both able to listen to that, yeah?
I was, although I have to admit, I did hear a bit of like extra audio.
Yeah.
So I wish I could hear it kind of with crystal clear, so I could hear everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, we can do that now on Zoom, but then the audience is kind of just going to be hanging there.
I think twice is probably enough.
It's so good, Claire.
So there's a lot of detail in there, but nonetheless, if you guys are happy, then I'll say one or two things and then we can move on.
It might be a question of, where's Bound actually is saying that it might be a question of muting mics as well while you're listening.
Yeah, I think for yours, Brian, because I think yours is coming through specifically.
I don't have any audio, like audio. I just have, So none of
or if you have headphones for the others, because mine won't be feeding into my mic.
Okay. So yeah, Claire, did you want to add something to what you said about your approach?
Yeah, well, just because I didn't want to blow the plot, of course. But yeah, I sort of wanted to bring in like a really sinister element right from the start. But I don't know whether what everyone else thought about this. I had like a weird empathy with the aliens because actually it's the humans that went to their planet to try and colonize. Like they're the indigenous population and then they just get their own back. You know, it's like, well, it's kind of the humans' fault. But then they're like, well, two can play at that game and they come and colonize presumably Earth. And so I kind of wanted to maybe not make it entirely seem like the aliens are evil and the humans are good. You know, I wanted there to be this, obviously it's dramatic, but this kind of like slightly detached feeling. In that the aliens, they're just kind of watching, they're just planning their next move. They're like, these humans are idiots. We'll see what we can do here.
Yeah.
You know, and so I kind of want it to be sinister, but not specifically kind of like, oh, these are this like evil supernatural force. You know, just a little bit of like uncertainty. And so to kind of make the whole thing sound uncertain, I also went for this really off-kilter time signature that the whole thing's in 11/8, apart from the very last like 4 bars of it. So that's the only time it ever really like settles into a beat. Otherwise, you've always got this slight skip at the end of the bar. And so, because I just wanted it to be slightly like every time you thought you could relax, it's just a bit tense. So that was kind of my thought process. I'd be interested to know what you guys thought of, like, who did you empathize with in this?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. How did you guys approach it from that point of view?
Oh, I was definitely team humans. For me, like, they were, how do I say this? Like, their plan was interrupted by this surveillance, and they're already in a dire situation. They're trying to colonize something. So I suppose things are not going so well on Earth for them, and they're looking for a port to dock. So that was my approach.
I thought of it more like from kind of the voiceover, the main character's point of view. So not really like one team versus the other, but more like this is kind of a poor foot soldier, who may not have sort of chosen this, is just sort of doing a job and then is now, stuck in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he seems so jaded and traumatized, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can sort of hear in his voice.
I was really thrilled with the voiceover, actually. I think
great.
And I think it makes a huge difference, to the quality and the impact of the clip, really.
Yeah.
That's another thing, isn't it? The music is fundamental, but the sound design is so fundamental as well, including narration and so on.
Yeah.
I guess the narration really sort of dictates a lot of what you can and can't do with the music, yeah? Because, clearly you couldn't have something jolly, yeah, if the guy is sounding jaded and miserable. So it kind of sets the tone a little bit, yeah, for the music.
Yeah, and also when you have to keep the music as essentially underscore or kind of duck it down a little bit as well. I found that quite a big challenge with this clip, actually, bringing kind of interest in the music in and out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I really love the texture you used. It was really really beautifully done, I thought.
Oh, thank you.
And how you change the energy level, and the sounds were really beautiful and at the same time tense. It was really well done.
Yeah, I really love this glass tube sound. So a lot of the kind of main beat is a hit on the glass tubes, and then some of the kind of more melodic stuff is actually if you've got a wine glass and you're doing that thing.
Yeah.
So that I kind of quite enjoyed using that as just the main sonority, those sort of two facades of that instrument, and a bit of these ritualistic drums in there and that sort of thing.
And there was
I had a lot of fun scoring this.
And there were, good.
Yes.
That was the idea. Was there some sort of vocal library, yeah? Some sort of choir or something, yeah?
Yeah, so I used the choir from Metropolis Arc.
Right.
From Metropolis Arc 1. There's a few different ones. Yes, and...
So it wasn't your voice this time then?
I don't know. I'm always tempted. I didn't have time to whip out the Claire Wickes choir this time. But yeah, quite a big epic choir just for that moment, where they attack. And other than that, there's a little bit actually there's this kind of shaman humming, but it's quite low in the mix. But it just kind of, I know it's there. I like a little Easter egg in there, that it just gives a tiny bit of texture, but I don't think you'd be able to necessarily hear it if you didn't know it was there.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the next one. So what are you suggesting, Mike, that I stream it to YouTube, but that I also send it to you guys on Zoom, yeah?
Yeah, or I think at this point, if we all just watch on YouTube, but it might help. As long as everybody just mutes their mics while they're watching, I think that will reduce any feedback coming through, so that you're not hearing both.
Martin, are you able to do that now? Are you?
Yeah. There's going to be a little lag where we're going to be quiet, but that's fine. Just wait wait 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Martin, are you up and running to listen on YouTube?
He is, I think.
I can't. Is he?
His mic is muted, so he definitely is.
Okay. I'm on YouTube, yeah.
Okay, cool. So everybody mute, and I will play Mike's next. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm getting ready to mute myself. All right, here we go. Let's hope this one works better.
Relax, David. Just tell us what you know.
It was just a routine mapping mission. Another no-hope colonization prospect. But they'd been watching us, studying, learning. They made it clear we weren't welcome. Before we knew it, they were coming. Well, now they're here.
Everyone done, yeah? Well done, Mike.
Nice.
Well
That was
done.
awesome.
Thank you.
So yeah, Mike, do you want to say a little bit about your approach?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, I sort of took it from the point of view of the character, the voiceover, sort of the first person that we see on there.
Yeah.
And so I guess I always start and I sort of structure a scene and I kind of break it apart into like what is, even if it's 60 seconds long, what is kind of like the first act, the second act, what are the turning points from one act into the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that really helps me sort of put my flag post down of where, I'm going to change music and what I'm going to do with it. And then I think with the music, one thing I wanted to do is I like the lead instrument in the first sort of act of it is essentially a bassoon kind of mixed with another bassoon that's being processed through a bunch of like guitar effects and stuff like that. So I'm sort of having that like gradually evolve through the line. And just a couple other things. I recorded some cello here and then put that through guitar pedals over like the big epic section. So it's kind of got this this really low distorted, sort of glisses down and stuff like that within the whole texture. So I was just trying to kind of make my own unique sounds out of the palette and, to kind of give it that flavor. But yeah, and kind of just have a consistency in like the material, the thematic material throughout. So it sort of bookends and comes back to that initial theme once they've colonized, and taken over.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Is that quite challenging in a 60-second clip to sort of keep that continuity and sort of revisit something multiple times?
I think it helps me in kind of, I think once you have a very clear structure, then it's, kind of more or less the same, whether it's 60 seconds or it's doing like a 13-minute cue, then, as long as kind of like where you're headed and which section you're in, I think that's what really helps me the most. Yeah. Okay,
cool. Guys, you want to chip in with any comments or questions?
Amazing, because I liked, you had this theme continuing for the 60 seconds. I admire that. That was really cool idea. Come in right from the beginning with the theme and then, just build up on that. Cool.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, the motive idea was really great. Agree. And the sound palette, I really liked how you processed it. You said you used, guitar effects and stuff. And that's something I've been trying to do also lately. So I really enjoyed, your approach to it.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun with this one as well. And I think another thing I tried to do a lot, like with the textures, is always creating some sort of dynamic element to every texture that you have. So there's always a sort of, if it's a pad that's going on in the back that's sort of playing chords or something, that there's a filter moving on it, or there's something that's happening that's slowly evolving the sound. So it kind of blends from one into the next one. So it's sort of treating like electronic instruments the way you would treat orchestration, like that you would sort of pass the melody line from one instrument to another. So it's always dynamic.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. I loved how you literally took like D, A, B flat and made that 3-note motif into a whole score. I thought that was really, really clever. Just taking something relatively simple and making it into something that can carry a whole score. Love those bass, like you said, the glissando, that sort of like low pedal that just like drops off. That's really, really cool. Amazing. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wicked.
Cool, that's great. Well, it sounds like everyone had fun doing their score, so that's pleasing. I don't want to feel like I'm burdening people with these challenges. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next one. So yeah, once again, the drill to mute your microphone and listen on YouTube. So we'll listen to Martin's, I think. Yeah. Martin, do you want to tell us anything before we listen, or do you want to speak after we've listened?
I think we can do it afterwards.
Okay.
Afterwards, I will tell you my thoughts on it and the challenge again.
All right. Is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Martin Heidenreich.
Relax, David. Just tell us what you know.
It was just a routine mapping mission. Another no hope colonization prospect. But they'd been watching us, studying, learning. They made it clear we weren't welcome. Before we knew it, they were coming. Well, now they're here. We've become the colony.
Everyone done?
Oh, the tension. Loved it.
Yeah, very nice job.
Amazing. That was wicked.
Thank you. No, I honestly gave myself a time limit. Really, I like, okay, this needs to be done in 1 hour. And I wanted to limit it to one library, which I couldn't because at the beginning I saw the jungle. And as we already said, there was this technician just doing his job in the jungle. I mean, at the beginning, this relaxed, there have been just breath, like this cooling down. It was the human voice. I wanted to have the human voice a little bit throughout everything. I had it even during this jungle scene, but I needed to cut it out because it distracted too much from the dialogue, because he's telling so much there. He's telling the whole story. So I didn't want the music to get into the way of the story. So I just had these woodwinds, this jungle vibe, this nature thing going on until we understand, okay, the aliens are coming. And then, yes, it's just mayhem and chaos. And I wanted it a little bit classic, with the Brahms and that stuff, but I knew I didn't want string ostinati and I didn't want the French horns playing fifth. This was the only thing I knew I didn't want to have in it. And then at the very end, yes, there was again the human voice singing just that line. Like at the end, this whole story is about us humans. Mm-hmm. And then this is the thought behind it. And I managed to do it in 1 hour.
That's cool.
Well done.
Impressive.
That's amazing.
Honestly, one of the things I liked the most also about this one is that the way how your music interacted with the FX track. Like, it was really complementary. I had trouble when I was writing the music to, not make it too busy or to really affect, especially with the scene, the chaos scene. And I thought you did a really good job, making the music work with that without overpowering it and without, also compromising the music. So that was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like the sort of forest bit. I liked what you were doing with some of the ethnic flutes and things like that you had going on.
Yeah, just woodwinds, just a little bit the jungle, the nature. It was a very nice place. I think it must be a pleasure to work there, with the drone and stuff like this. I wanted to have that positive vibe there because it started, I think, quite positively, and then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was really clever how you ended it, actually, because you got that human voice, but then there was that kind of distorted, almost breaking up sound
exactly.
As well. You had the sort of sci-fi and the human.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Okay. On to Gabe's. Are you ready? Gabe, do you want to say anything before we play it?
Sure, I could. Well, I went the total opposite route Claire went. I went trailer music because I've got a lot of requests to do some of that on the channel, and I've never done it. And I was like, well, this is the occasion to try my hand at it. Uh-huh. So I went all in with that. Mm-hmm. And also I've been kind of obsessed lately with synths and sound designs with synths and creating sounds that I don't have in my libraries. So I really tried to include that in this piece, and then design sound with Serum, and also use some of the libraries I usually use, including Metropolis Arc 1, the choir, because I love that choir.
Aha, and, I see. That's why they sounded so good, kind of sandwiched together. Okay.
So I was talking to Brian earlier, and I was saying, I think it's funny. So for this scene, we kind of went the same route, Claire and I, with the choir, and it's okay. Well, now now it makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Shout out to.
but that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. All right, everyone ready? Here we go.
Relax, David. Just tell us what you know.
It was just a routine mapping mission. Another no-hope colonization prospect. But they'd been watching us, studying, learning. They made it clear we weren't welcome. Before we knew it, they were coming. Well, now they're here. We've become the colony.
I was enjoying watching you guys watching, you know.
Nice
This
job,
one
Gabe.
was tense.
It's
This
like-
one was really tense. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked really well as a trailer, actually. Really well.
Cool.
I'm glad that was the effect I was definitely going for. It was, like the percussive elements and the whoosh. I forgot how you say that in English. So all that stuff, yeah.
Cool. Really cool.
What was some of your approach, kind of like for the beginning bits rather than kind of in the climactic sections?
Well, I was really about that sound design with Serum. I really wanted to, create sounds using, like LFOs to shape the tone and the filter, a little bit of what you were talking about earlier, and the effects. Because I really wanted to press that key and hear a sound that was not in any of the libraries I had, even in the synth libraries. So that was the idea. And also, it was a definitely learning experience for me because I've never done stuff like that really before. So I wanted to get that in my arsenal.
Nice.
So what
Yeah,
better
nice
way
work.
than to do it?
Fantastic. And that's
I
what the
thought it was-
QTube's all about.
Oh, sorry, Brian.
I was just going to say that's what the QTube's all about, trying new stuff.
I was just going to say, I thought it was really interesting how you spotted it, like certain moments that you picked out, like that when warning flashes up on the screen, that you just like picked out in a different way, and also towards the end that you didn't take out the music on all the blackouts, so you kind of kept the tension going. I sort of, it's interesting. I'd like to actually listen to all four now back to back,
Yeah,
and try and work out how everyone spotted it.
Yeah, somebody's just said that in the chat. So what I'll do as well is put another video up with them literally just back to back. I'll do that as well. Yeah, without all of our chatter. I love our chatter, but nobody else seems to.
Apparently, it's not as scintillating as we might think.
Yeah, Martin, were you going to say something about the last one?
No, the last one I really liked, as Claire said, when this warning flashed. Gabe started to bring in the percussion, like tung tung, tung tung, and from there on it just built up. That was really genius. This was and it was tense. It was really tense, and I liked, even as Claire said, that he continued, because for me, there was this black screen silence, and then this is how I spotted it, but Gabe spotted it completely different, and I liked that approach. That the tension didn't lower there; that the tension remained. And the next thing we could do is do something together. All four of us brainstorming over a track,
Cool.
challenging. I don't know whom, but this would be amazing even to get those ideas together, because they have been fantastic.
To do a collaborative score as opposed to
like a challenge, like those four against.
team sport.
Yeah. colonists against
England
aliens.
against
Find more
Germany.
aliens and then
I'm not sure how I feel about this nickname.
We can do it during the World Cup, you know, England against Germany, and you know.
World Cup off.
The World Cup of
Composing.
film scoring.
Yeah.
It's like Eurovision, but just film scores.
Amazing.
Please don't compare it to Eurovision, please.
That's an honour.
I know, we're not quite there.
All right. Well, I think that I should let you guys go, and we should let all of our lovely viewers go, and let them crack on with their own versions of this clip. But yeah, it seems like you enjoyed it, and I got exactly what I kind of wanted, which was 4 really different and very interesting approaches to the clip. So thank you so much for that, and for your insights.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a lot of
Thanks,
fun.
Brian. Thanks for organizing this.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
It's a big pleasure.
Take
Big
care.
fun.
Take care, everyone, and
Awesome.
see
Nice
you,
to meet
see
you
you
all.
on the other side.
Nice to meet you.
And hear your music.
Bye.
Bye.